You're Near the Wild with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska.
Hello.
John Norris.
Hey, guys.
No, just you so far.
Okay.
Waiting for Becker to...
Hello, guy.
Exciting.
Woo! What is going on? I voted today. Did that.
Oh,
Matt Becker.
Becker.
You all set up? You still getting together there? Or we'll let him keep going. So, yeah, so you voted today.
I did that.
Yeah.
It's the one time a year where I get to walk around to elementary school.
They relaxed the laws to let you in? Is there a
Yep.
problem with you going there other than Election Day?
I think it's kind of a don't ask, don't tell type situation.
Election's always weird because you go into those areas, like you said, like when was the last time you were actually, if you don't have kids, when was the last time you went in and saw the tiny desks and the 2.5 foot tall drinking fountains?
Yeah. Everything just seems so tiny.
the drinking fountains there are amazing.
Yeah, I never remember which one had the lemonade and which one had the pee.
Well, you think it's a bidet at first. Wow, you think they'd have walls.
A 3-person bidet? I don't remember that.
That's public school for you.
Becker,
Bidets on every corner.
Becker, did you vote today?
I'm going to go vote after this podcast. I've been still studying all the issue.
Your volume sounds really low.
Does it? Hang on.
Is there something?
I had to go get the thing. Let's see.
Can you tap the mic so I just know it's working?
Is that
There,
working?
that sounds like it's working.
We good? Are we good there?
That's better. What'd you do?
I just I'm pulling it up, making sure that's on there. That's good.
That's good right there.
Ring is internal, external. Volume, we can go up a little bit. How about that? That better?
Yes, that's better.
Brilliant.
Perfect. And we don't have a second call on, so that's even better.
Yes. All right. So I guess we could start with I don't know. John and I were just chit-chatting, but elections.
I don't know if I have anything else to say about elections. I mean,
That was it, huh?
I think that's. I mean, I voted. I woke up this morning and read the ADN list of questions for all the candidates.
Yeah.
For the main candidates, they leave some of the candidates out.
Well, just to put it out there, this is a mayoral race, right?
It is.
Yeah. So there's something at stake.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what else is on the ballot.
A couple of funding for schools and for parks and for municipal buildings and stuff. Nothing sexy.
Yeah. So it's just Dan Sullivan and his 11. Is it 11 people that are in the race?
Yeah, Dan Sullivan, he's out. He's the lieutenant governor now.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why they have the election.
Actually, not the same Dan Sullivan, but yeah.
What?
No?
Dan Sullivan didn't win the lieutenant governor, John.
Oh, really?
There were 2 Dan Sullivans. That's how he made national news. They go, this wouldn't be confusing for Alaskan voters at all. Yeah, remember the Dan Sullivan one is the one from Connecticut, not the one that was our mayor.
What is he doing now?
Does that change things for you, John?
You don't work in the media. Do you?
I'm not
embarrassing.
I'm not a reporter. All right.
Maybe if you go back
Take a
there,
picture, last longer.
go back to that elementary school and see if they can fish it out. And you can just tell them you didn't understand really that there were 2 Dan Sullivans.
Well, either way, he wasn't running.
Okay.
Right, because he chose not to run for the lieutenant governor. What was he running for? He was running for something else. Anyway, he lost.
He was lieutenant governor for somebody, right?
John, you had it almost.
See, you
No.
were really close. No, see, the lieutenant governor was the other Dan Sullivan. He was running for the seat that, what was it? The baggage seat.
So
He was running for senator.
Yes.
The other Dan Sullivan is running for senator, right?
No, the other Dan Sullivan took over Baggage's seat. He was running for lieutenant
okay.
governor, but lost.
I have no idea what's happening now.
Yeah. He's on second. Who's on first?
third base.
I mean, they could throw in a middle initial, right? Make it a little clearer.
Or just D. Sullivan. I mean, we know who Dan Sullivan is. He was already elected and he was the mayor. The other guy coming in, it should be automatic. They'd be like, what do you got for a middle name? Maybe we can put it, like you said, the initial, or we can do a Daniel. I mean, come on.
Or a nickname. Just go with the nickname.
Yeah.
Okay.
But But yeah,
So-
it was very confusing. I didn't realize it.
It's
it
confusing
continued.
now.
So Dan Sullivan, who was not the mayor of Anchorage, is now Senator Dan Sullivan because he beat Begich.
Yes.
The
That's
Dan
right.
Sullivan who was,
He ran with Parnell, who did not win.
there we go. Got it.
Our mayor is a loser.
I agree. Got it. Nailed it.
And so now you have the open forum in which it's a free for all. So you have one guy running with handmade signs. You have one lady running with signs with the face cut out of them.
And a gun, strapped with a gun.
And a gun.
And she said she didn't wave it around. She didn't do anything more. She was willing to use it, but
She was holstered. I mean, she was carrying, which is legal for her to be carrying a gun. But that's pretty fucking ballsy, man.
well, with all the shootings we've had in town, I think it's really ingenious to wave a gun around and claim that you're going to straighten the city out.
And that the mayoral candidate should lead by example.
We need a new sheriff in town. She's mayor/sheriff. That story is awesome. The guy, Amy Dembowski seems kind of, I don't know,
Nuts?
shitty and nuts anyway.
She's
So
one of the
somebody's-
11 that's running for the mayoral position that's up.
Correct. So somebody's like going around and vandalizing all of her signs, and they found the guy, and I think everybody was like, "Yeah, take down her signs." But then they talked to him, and he's like, "Yeah, she's a fucking woman. I'm gonna mess up her signs." And so everybody's like, "Ugh."
I can't really get behind that.
We thought it was a little more noble than that.
I
Yeah.
like that he wasn't really ruining the message because he wasn't like taking out her name or anything. He was just cutting out her face, so it would turn into one of those.
Some of them that I've seen are like just actually everything is like cut out. It's
Oh,
basically
really?
just like a yellow frame that is empty.
But yeah, I saw a couple of the ones where he just got her face out. So it's like there's no face recognition with her name. You're like, "Hi, do you know me?" And I go, "No, I got nothing."
Nope.
He turned some of them into those Coney Island boardwalk photo opportunities.
Well, that's why I
If you
told
see
Becky
her,
we need.
you just have to spray paint a red line across her face, and then you'll recognize her.
I told Becky we need to get out there and get it, stand behind it and get our picture with it. Hey, I'm Dubowski. We're all Dubowski. Put homeless guys in it.
So yeah, it's been a fun election, and there's one guy who actually got interviewed on Tosh.0. Did you see that?
No, what was that?
Yeah, he's a mayor candidate.
He's a mayoral candidate. He's like a 23-year-old, 24-year-old kid, and he is he's incredibly awkward. And so Daniel Tosh put him on his show and interviewed him.
He made
And
Quentin look like a social butterfly.
He did. And if any of our listeners have listened to Questions of Quentin, it's not good. He is extremely awkward. But I don't remember his name, so I couldn't vote for him.
Wait, now this is a young kid, 18 or
Yeah.
something, that's running for mayor.
He's a 23, 24.
Okay.
I'll send you the link. It's online, and I think they interviewed him first on like KTVA.
Yeah, a local
Yeah.
Anchorage station.
Yeah. And he is extremely ill-informed,
Uninformed.
and he's great.
He
I don't
appears
know.
maybe he has a drug problem.
That could be just
Yeah.
like
You
going
know how
through
you
puberty.
can legalize weed like they legalize gasoline, but you really shouldn't do a lot of it? I
You're not
he
gonna
knows
you're not
he's
gonna
be
sit
a
here and tell me I
5.0.
can't huff gasoline.
I didn't say you can. I'm just saying, just because it's cheaper doesn't mean you should do more of it.
I'm looking for his name. Right. If I said his name, would it ring a bell?
Yeah, look it up and then we'll agree
Jacob?
with you. Yeah, that's him.
Jacob Seth Kern.
Heimerschmidt. Yeah.
That's not it.
I think.
Yeah, I think-
Well, there's Lance Ahern, Timothy Hutt, Dustin Darden,
No. Let's see what.
Dustin Darden is great too, but
Christopher Jameson.
I just found the link.
I mean, we can't not give him a plug on this.
I
'Cause
know.
he's-
Yeah,
I mean,
here you go. It would be Jonathan Jameson Harrison.
Jonathan Jameson Harris.
Oh, James Harrison, yeah. You know, I found that. I put in Google. I put Tosh Anchorage Mayor, and boom, there it is.
And it's and
You know what? I put Tosh Anchorage, and it was a real struggle for me.
And what's his name? I'm looking at at it right here. Is this the? Yeah, this is municipal elections 2015, April 7th.
Yeah, Jonathan James Harrison, 24, lifelong Anchorage resident.
Harrison. I'm not seeing Harrison on this list.
Did
Sir,
not make
he's
the
real.
cut? Yeah, he's real.
All right.
They wouldn't have put him on the news if he wasn't a real candidate.
Yeah, there's 12 listed here. So, thanks, John. I see you've sent me a link. Boy, We're really starting to use this Skype to at least 15% of its capability. Oh wow, he looks like a awkwardly social, I guess.
Yeah, all I can assume is he lost some Super Bowl bet.
Oh yeah, if you watch the clip at the end of the interview, like his like 3 friends all come out from behind the camera. So it's definitely everybody just thought it'd be really funny to have like their most awkward friend run for mayor.
Sure.
And it seems to be it's working.
Yeah.
But the friends that came out at the end have more charisma than he does. And I go, why didn't you pick one of them?
Maybe they're responsible. They don't want him to win.
Well, I mean, that's how you do it, though, right? You get the guy who Tosh Point is going to pick. They're not going to pick someone like Bruce Schulte, who has a command of the facts when it comes to legalization of marijuana. They're going to look for this guy.
Yeah,
Shiloh Green.
Yeah,
I mean, but he is still Jonathan James Harrison is still less awkward than Dustin Darden. I mean,
but are these degrees of just
Dustin Darden is a crazy person. This morning I read, so ADN did a breakdown. They asked every like major candidate, I think like 30 something questions, and Dustin Darden's were like lots of misspellings. He doesn't believe in punctuation. And there are questions like, so how can we improve Anchorage's economy? And he says stuff like, well, I mean, the city needs to stop spending money on fireworks. We all love fireworks, but I think we need to start planting apple trees and think outside of the box.
I'm liking this guy already.
No, I mean, that's how we got Palin. And I'm just asking people that maybe you want a little more in your candidate
than someone whose basic platform is to get rid of the fireworks display.
Yeah, I mean, I just think this might be the first kid to fulfill that obligation. No call, no show. He just won't show up when he wins. He'll be like, "Oh fuck, I forgot."
So Becker, you still have to go out and vote then.
Yes.
All right.
I go vote. I usually vote later in the day. I vote at a church, which is very, if you don't know anything about separation of church and state, a lot of times it's very odd. I go, how can I really be voting in a church? And they go, it's cool. And it saves me a drive to one of the local schools with gang members out in front of it. So I go, all right, I'm good with the church, I guess. And they actually cover up the cross at the entrance.
Do they really?
Yeah. And they give you cookies. They give you cookies when you come out. And I go, do you have anything sugar-free or gluten-free? And they go, no. And I go, well, thank God for that. But the ladies are very nice. And our elections are run by these nice old ladies. You could dupe them. I mean, this is the way they rob them of all their savings. I mean, the idea that there could be fraud voters is unbelievable. The third time I went in, the lady's like, whoa, you have a large family?
So does it get awkward when you have to vote for stuff? Like, should we tax churches?
Yes, we should tax. Nome had the ability to do this, and they fucking lily-livered out. They're way in debt. $280,000 a year on extra property they could have taxed them. And Nome wouldn't be so far in debt as they are. They go, okay, city council said, okay, we're not going to do that after all. Good. Don't turn to the state to look for it. They're currently trying to cut Nome out of the picture.
Yeah. I saw that Going Clear, that Scientology movie on HBO.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you just want to watch, the power of basically throwing lawsuits at the IRS to make them go away, to leave the Church of Scientology alone. Just that in and of itself is just fucking insane.
No, I get it. I mean, I get the church thing. It was all built. The whole idea, the reason priests couldn't marry, do you know what the reason was?
No.
Because they didn't want a chance of divorce where they could separate and they'd lose property. So they decided to go. So they said, you have to be celibate, which turned out didn't work. And then all the lawsuits they've done, they said we could have gone through divorces for 3 centuries. We wouldn't lost as much we did with kids molested.
Yeah, I thought they just didn't get married because they like to play the field, like to date around.
Well, I mean, as long as there's kids on that field, yeah. It's one of those things people go, oh, you shouldn't say that. Like I'll do it at the bar. I go, it's kind of been in the paper now for 20 years.
Yeah, now you've got to kind of step away from it because it's too much.
They had to get rid of the German Pope because of it. Remember his thing? He said, well, I was a brown shirt, so I understand where you're coming from. Sometimes you have to do things you didn't want to do. Now let's move on. And they went, Jesus Christ, kill him or retire him. Germans aren't the best at responding to emergencies. Yes, we killed some Jews. Let's get over it and move on.
Well, they're just very practical, you know? That was in the past.
They wouldn't all fit in Israel if we hadn't killed so many.
Oh.
You ask Iran, they have the same idea.
So, John, how are you doing on your what did we call it? Your
my productivity?
Your productivity hack. Yeah.
No Facebook or Twitter or social media until 7 p.m. It's going well. I've actually stuck to it, and and actually, like, the first couple of days, like 7 p.m., I was like watching the clock, and like I was like, oh, 6:59, start get my phone out. Mm-hmm. But now it's I've got a couple of days where I don't check Facebook or anything, and it's crazy how addicted you can get to it, but how like quickly you can like wean yourself away from it, and you start to realize like, oh, I don't care what any of these people are doing. So you
kind of like. It's kind of like anything. The first couple of days, it's kind of stop and start, but then you realized day 4, let's say, that you weren't counting, the seconds until you could tweet.
Yeah,
and you could always write down a tweet and then tweet it at 7, correct?
Sure. And the only time I've broken this is when I had to like get on like Facebook for work or something, because I do have to like share a lot of stuff for work.
So you do that. So that is one caveat is that you would at least have to step back and do things for work.
Yeah, work related networking.
Even if it was a cat video.
Of course, sometimes I gotta share these cat videos. But it's been good, and I feel like I've been more productive. I've gotten things done. I did my taxes a week before they're due. That's pretty good.
That's not work related at all.
I'm just moving along.
Well, what were you gonna say, Becker?
Oh, nothing. I mean, that's getting your taxes done early that's one of the reasons I go on Facebook is to just brag about, hey, I think I'm all done with my taxes and stuff. And I did my own. I'm spinning a sign out in front of taxes.com.
Well, John, there is an app that does exactly what you have actually done the old fashioned way by yourself.
It blocks websites.
It blocks using your phone in any way. For a prescribed amount of time. You pick the time, you hit go, and then basically all you're looking at is the screen that is counting down to when you can go back online.
Oh, you do that for your phone? I've seen like computer apps that can do that. That can like block the internet for like whatever amount of time you want.
Sure.
Wow. And I have that app because I don't have a phone, but I don't know where to put it.
It is tantamount to an on-off button. I mean, it's called Freedom App, and it really is just a matter of turning your phone, like just silence it for a little while and don't look at it. I think after a couple of days, like John, like you said, if you focus on that, then you're able to focus on other things.
Do you have to pay for the app?
Oh yeah.
Because I was gonna say they're not getting much money on ads.
Not at all.
So like I found like the most helpful thing has just been to turn off like all of my notifications. So I don't so if somebody like messages me on Facebook or tweets at me or something, I don't hear about it. Like,
which, I mean, shouldn't you have that anyway?
Your grandmother's life alert.
Yeah.
Oh, she died at 6.
I mean, what was I going to do really if I got that message? So, it's been going well. Feels good. I feel more productive.
All right. Well, continued success, John.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we are headlong into springtime. I mean, it is abnormally. I mean, 51 degrees yesterday. 50,
even though it snowed on Saturday night.
It did, and it really did. It was like April Fool's.
It snowed pretty hard. And I think it's been raining, and it's supposed to snow again this week, but I don't really believe it.
The Slush Cup is this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
actually, I talked to 2 guys who are involved in the Slush Cup last night, and they said they're bringing snow down from the top of Alyeska, and they're going to bring it down and use it for the Slush Cup because they have no snow at the bottom.
Not even slush.
No.
It seems like you could make slush.
Yeah, that seems like an easier one. I mean,
So
7-Elevens did it for years.
we need 30,000 icy machines.
Hurry!
We'll take slush puppies if you got them too. It doesn't matter. You know, it seems like this whole new avenue for a business opportunity has opened as a snow wrangler. In the 70s, that was something else. But it seems
they used
like
to do it with bees. You know?
Yeah.
They used to do bees. You drive in bees, you use it, they take it out.
Yeah. I mean, there's people who rent goats to get weeds out of your garden and stuff like that. Here's a perfect opportunity of going in and telling them, we'll get you the snow you need. We just need access to the top of your facility here.
I mean, I'm just gonna make one of those fake, like I'm gonna make a fiberglass bobsled run, and then I'll just throw some slushies on it, and then I mean, kids can experience snow like when you were a kid.
Like, snow wrangling seems difficult, though. I think it'd be easier to get like a whole bunch of instant mashed potatoes. They look like snowflakes.
Or the things that they use to make it look like snow, like on a TV set in Hollywood. I know sometimes they used to use foam. You can see it in old shitty sitcoms and stuff from the 70s.
Well, I like the idea of instant mashed potatoes because that'd be perfect for slush cup.
Yeah.
It might not be slush, but seeing people try to ski through a pool of mashed potatoes is just as fun.
I think you'd have to have some kind of a ground rule that you're not allowed to fall with your mouth open, just so that the people at the end of the slush cup run have the same opportunity as the people in the beginning.
Hey man, that's the luck of the draw. You want to go early.
Come hungry. Are you guys going to that?
Yes, I think we're taking Matt Kershaw.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go. I don't think I might have to work Saturday, but I don't think I do have to check.
Well, I hope he doesn't because John's driving.
Yeah, I'm driving. What else? Oh, guys, did you see Fast and Furious 7?
No.
I'm guessing no.
I didn't know. I mean, I knew there was a 7 because I saw the media campaign right
Why
now.
Why is it 7? Is that how many original members are left?
Nope, that's how many they've made, actually.
I can't. Yeah, that's.
They've made
amazing.
7 of them. It is one of the most successful franchises in history.
And it's basically it's hoodlums in fast cars, right?
Well, it used to be about like racing, but now the movies are more about like heists, and they get sent on missions and stuff.
Oh yeah.
They are awful.
And how many of the 7 have you seen, John?
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, of course.
Multiple times I've seen all of them. They're awful, but they're also like, the only like action movies that are like what action movies should be. They're just stupid and there's stuff blowing up for no reason and there's just crazy fights and Vin Diesel is famous for some reason. It's incredible.
One of the writing credits, they gave Gallagher a credit, which I thought was nice. Because stuff just gets smashed and you go, oh, he did that.
He's a consultant on that.
Yeah.
Well, the movie I'm looking forward to see, John, is and Becker, weigh in on this. I'm not usually for remakes, but I have seen the most recent trailer of the Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yeah,
coming out this June, I believe. That looks fucking insane.
It does look amazing.
Yeah,
and it's directed. It's a remake, but it's directed by the same dude.
Yeah, what was his name?
George Miller.
George Miller, yeah. And Tom Hardy plays Mad Max, which the original, the first round of teaser trailers that came out, for some reason, just me catching it, like maybe I didn't see it from the beginning or whatever, I was in the impression that Charlize Theron was the retooled Mad Max. Like they threw a lady spin on it. And I was like, motherfucker, they've ruined this. And then I just saw this.
They're raping my childhood.
I couldn't believe it, I mean, I like the old one that you never usually get to see unless you rent it. You don't usually catch it on TV because they've cut it out for American audiences. That the original Mad Max with some of the gore and stuff that's in it is pretty kick-ass. But if you see that, if you rent it like on Netflix or something, wherever you can get it, you'll see that with the burned skeletons and stuff like that.
One more thing about Fast and Furious.
Oh,
so
okay.
Paul Walker is dead.
Yes.
He died.
Fast and Furiously.
And at the end of the movie, they have like a whole like touching thing like for Paul.
Yeah.
And they have a sequence where him and Vin Diesel are like racing one last time down the road, and then he goes off and drives into the sunset, which is beautiful. But kind of I have mixed feelings about it considering Paul Walker died driving a sports car down a highway.
He wasn't driving.
He wasn't driving?
No, remember he was a passenger in the car.
Well, some people are drivers and some people are passengers.
Yeah, and the other thing is he died on Sunset. So
He died on Sunset?
Sunset Boulevard. Yeah. And the other thing is Porsche came out this week and said it was driver error. There's nothing wrong with the Porsche if you know how to drive.
Well, I've been told that one of the Ryan Dunn, who was in the Jackass movies, also died in a Porsche. So I think Porsche is trying to kill all of our celebrities.
Yeah, ever since James Dean.
That wasn't a Porsche, though, was it?
Yes, it was.
Oh, Becker.
Yeah, the convertible racing. He had it. You know where James Dean was going when he crashed?
Where?
He was going to he got a letter in the mail because they were trying to defer him from being put in the military. And he got a letter saying he was to report to duty immediately. So he was driving to the whatever.
The recruitment office?
Recruitment office. And he crashed on the way to complain that he had an exemption.
Paul Walker didn't die on Sunset. You can't fool me.
No, he died at 5:48, which is sunset in California.
It was 3:30 p.m. I'm on Wikipedia.
Right. You might be confusing daylight savings time.
And James Dean did die in a Porsche Spider. You were correct, Becker.
Did he even really die? We can't trust anything Becker says.
Well, that's why I checked it. I went to the Google machine.
I predicted Kentucky would lose horrendously, and they did. Now a state just known for welfare and bad politicians. Good luck. Basketball is your second fiddle.
They still have horses. They still have some horses in that state.
Yeah.
Do you have any more Fast and Furious? Any more comments? Anything else you want to add?
I mean, seriously, how is Vin Diesel famous? It makes no sense. It is just mind-boggling.
It's like saying that Froggy voice kid from our gang goes on to be the biggest celebrity you've ever heard of.
Gee, Spank, how are we gonna win? We don't even have a derby car.
Oh my God, is that Vin Diesel?
Yeah, but that kid was famous, though. I'd rather switch to Little Rascals Talk than Fast and Furious.
I don't know anything about Little Rascals.
Oh, perfect. We're even then.
Unless you want to talk about the
I watched all their
remake.
Did you see their 7th movie, The Little Rascals? It was amazing.
Oh my God, you guys! Froggy was born in 1932 and he died in 1948. Froggy had a rough life, a quick one.
Yeah.
No.
You know,
he died in a Porsche on Sunset.
Unbelievable.
Spanky actually.
Oh shit! Quick fact. Sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
He actually was hit by a truck while he was delivering newspapers on a motor scooter.
That's right.
Oh man.
Was it Grit or was it actually a newspaper? Because that would be sad.
It just says a newspaper.
Wow.
So
tough.
So my mom, she knows a number of these ladies who do like in-home care. Because my dad, when he was sick, she had a bunch of people coming over and stuff, and she would always sit and chit chat with them quite a bit. And my mom would just went in and got her. It was just a thing that I would end up hearing all these stories about these immigrants and these people that were caring for her. And some of them, it was really cool, and a lot of them helped out a lot. And there was one lady who was telling my mom about this guy that her sister was caring for. And that we might know him. He was he was saying he was Spanky from the Little Rascals. And as this lady's telling this story to me now, because my mom asked her to tell the story, as she's saying this, I'm looking up on my phone to find Spanky. Actually, his name George McFarland, and I'm going, this doesn't make sense, because he died in 1993 in Texas, and he certainly even if he was able to come back, he left Texas and he's now in Orange County, California somewhere. And it was just, as I'm looking at this, I'm going, do I now tell this lady, you're wrong because the internet says it's wrong?
No, yeah, you're wrong because you are gullible.
Well, but then there's this whole thing of like, what's his scam? What's he getting out of doing this?
This is how he gets the ladies. Well,
I don't know what it is, but he travels to Hawaii every year, and he had some kind of weird thing. It was really fucked up that he was letting people. I don't like the idea of posing as someone else unless there's a funny story attached to it. And there was nothing there, But I ended up not saying anything until after, and then I told my mom, and she was crestfallen.
Wait, there were 2 Spankies. There was a
Not in my mind, sir. Not in my mind.
Yeah. There were 2 dicks in Bewitched.
Darren's.
Or Darren's, yeah.
Dick York
Yeah,
and
2 dicks. They were both dicks.
Yeah.
They were both dicks.
So there was George McFarlane,
That's the Spanky.
the Spanky, who died.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Are you maybe coming up with a plausible excuse for this lady? To
Yeah,
think
are you
that
saying the second Spanky could be real?
could somehow
a
be a
second
real
Spank?
Spanky?
Well, I don't. No, never mind. No, that guy's just a fucking liar.
Yeah.
He's
Right.
lying to immigrant social workers.
But they trust him with sponge bathing the elderly,
Yeah.
and yet he's got a complete fake resume. I'm saying if we're going to check Santa's background at the mall, we should check these people too.
Yeah, this guy had it down. Like he would tell the story, but I mean he's not telling the story to like people like me or you. He's telling the story to people who are like barely able to speak English.
Well, to be fair, Greg, most people don't even know who our gang is anymore.
How can that be?
We
How do
have
we
a
live in a
generation
world?
Generation of kids who barely know who Paul Walker was.
Oh no, people were crying in the theater. Everybody knew who Paul Walker was.
Well, yeah, at that stupid movie.
You mean the biggest movie in the world?
Well, okay, but tomato.
Paul Walker's gonna last forever.
I would hope that the people that plunked down $14 to go see that movie, probably in IMAX or 3D or whatever, I would hope that they would know who the star is.
Most
You
of
mean
them
the
were on their
Citizen Kane of driving movies?
phone.
I love that it's gotten back to Fast and Furious 3 times now.
Everything comes back to Fast and Furious. And do you guys know about the R Gang curse?
I think it's something. Well,
Did they bring a goat to Wrigley Field?
An unusually high percentage of child actors who starred in R Gang film series have met tragic premature ends.
okay, and then that's it. It's like the Saturday Night Live curse.
That's the whole curse.
Yeah. Well,
Oh.
all those kids that worked for Hal Roach at the height of the Depression, yeah, they all eventually died.
Okay, well, now that I'm looking at the list, apparently if you die before the age of 90, they consider that premature.
Those kids were lucky to get to the age of 40 growing up in the Depression.
I think it's just Froggy.
There's probably
Okay.
I think Alfalfa died early too.
Yeah, he got shot. Alfalfa got shot.
3 of the actors were victims of homicide.
Mm-hmm.
Normal.
2 of the-
Los Angeles in the
2 of the
1930s.
actors, 2 of them were killed by accidents. 1 committed suicide. 2 from premature medical ailments, and only 2 from substance abuse.
Seems
Surprising.
low.
That seems very low.
That's probably because cocaine was legal at the time. Yeah,
So-
but then take 12 people that weren't in our gang and follow their lives. It's probably the same amount of that's a pretty good cross section there of different ways to die. Now,
That's like tracking the banjo player from Deliverance.
There were 29 child actors who were regulars in the R Gang series. Can you name all 29, Greg? Go.
No. And Spanky, Darla, there's Butch, Woim, Butch's friend. Let's not forget Petey. There's Froggy. There's Buckwheat. There's Stymie. Robert Conrad. What was his character? Not Robert Conrad. Was it Robert Beretta?
No.
What was his name?
Robert Stack.
Robert Stack was not in it.
Was Marlon Brando in there?
Marlon Brando was not in our gang.
You could have been making up names the whole time. I don't know.
Oh, all those are legit, dude. Not
All
their
right.
real names, but their character names. How we grew up loving them.
All right, you win.
No,
You're in
I
our
didn't
gang.
win. I didn't get
You're-
close to 29.
I felt like 29.
I felt I did pull Woim out real quick because I remember Butch and Woim were the bullies. Proud of that one.
Oh, the one with the Beretta. Remember, he was found not guilty of killing his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
Was he married to her? I don't think he was married to her, was he? But remember when she got shot, he seemed like the most liable suspect because he hated her and wanted to kill her. And he said his excuse was he went back to the restaurant to get his gun. He forgot to protect her and came back and she was shot to death.
Yeah.
And then the day he was acquitted and found not guilty of murder was the same day Scott Peterson, who killed his wife on Christmas Day, was sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah.
Which I thought was just great.
Robert Blake.
Blake, that's
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Not
Robert,
Stack.
so you met Robert Blake Did he play Spanky?
No, he played one of the kids, like a secondary character. Him and who was it? Was it him? Him and Stymie were I can't remember that. Yeah, him and Stymie were buddies.
All right.
You know, the one that ruined old movies for me was Mickey Rooney. I never liked him from the get-go.
Really?
Yeah, and he just he was around. He was the Fast and Furious of his time.
But he plays such a convincing Asian American.
Yankee Doodle. I mean, it was horrible. And I just remember, I love old movies, and it's just, that's that whole thing in the Bowery Boys too. Yeah.
You didn't like the Bowery Boys?
I liked them to a point.
The Dead End Gang? Mm-hmm. I love the Bowery Boys, dude.
No, I mean, I liked the Bowery Boys to a point, but then it just got to the point where you were like, God damn, can't they find new actors?
That's like
that greasy hair in his eye all the time.
Yeah. Well, Mickey Rooney was as big as you could get back when he was a child actor moving into becoming an adult actor. He was banging fucking Judy Garland. He's fucking commanding huge amounts of money. I mean, you couldn't get no bigger than that guy.
No, and that was the thing, but you couldn't get rid of him. That was the thing.
Couldn't get rid of him either.
Mickey Rooney in it.
Mickey,
well, they do the same thing now.
I only remember Mickey Rooney from Pete's Dragon.
Pete's Dragon? What did he do in Pete's Dragon?
He played a guy.
He wasn't the kid.
He had a beard. No, he was older. I think he played like the lighthouse guy.
Pete's Dragon, dude. That was the animated / live action. Mm-hmm. Kid finds a dragon with those tiny wings. How could that thing ever fly?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Give us something that at least looks plausible. You can draw whatever you want. You draw these tiny little wings. Come on. I think it was just so much easier to believe things back in the day. Can you imagine if you showed if you went into one of the movie houses where it was a nickel to get in and they would sit all day and it said air conditioning on the outside, and you just kind of bumped the movie that was going to play off the projector there, and you screened I don't know, like Transformers. Their fucking heads would explode. It'd be like giving an Amish kid some like candy, like a Snickers
Amish
bar.
Kids get candy. I think Amish kids get candy.
Well, they like the sweetest thing to an Amish kid is an orange or a fucking almond. You know.
I feel like the racist undertones in Transformers were really fit in back then, though.
Well, I didn't say they wouldn't get it.
They'd get it. They'd like it.
I think the effects, they'd probably be all vomiting.
Well, I'm vomiting.
Yeah,
everyone's vomiting. That's the fun.
I just what movie was I watching? I was watching a movie the other day, and I thought it was I liked it because it was before CGI. Oh, I tweeted it, not tweeted. I texted you last night, John, after 7 p.m. I was watching Pan's Labyrinth.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of movie. It's a great movie, and they did a lot of makeup in there, and it was all pre-CGI, but they did have like a bug, a fairy, an imp, if you will, that was
that had David Bowie in it, right?
No, that was Labyrinth.
That's Labyrinth. Pan's Labyrinth is it just came out in like maybe like 6 years ago, 5-6 years ago.
No, it came out more than that. I think it's 2006.
Oh yeah, maybe you could be correct. It's possible that you are correct.
Well,
you are.
Is it 2006?
Yep.
Yeah. So I just thought it was a Del Toro. What's his name? Guillermo Del Toro movie.
Guillermo.
Yeah. It's pretty kick-ass, Becker. You should watch it. It's all subtitled, though, because it's...
Oh, I don't have a problem with subtitles.
Okay.
Oh, you speak Spanish.
Well, yeah, you can work on your Spanish.
I got one of those things for people that are blind, so to read the text.
So you got a TTY machine hooked up
yeah,
to your
I got a garage
box?
sale. I got a garage sale. I got it for practically nothing because the lady running it was blind.
You switched tags on her?
Yeah. I said, it says $3. She goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah.
It says 50. No, that's clearly 05. That's a nickel. You got change? Well, I thought it was interesting in this day of whiz bang and the quick edits and the craziness. I can't even watch a movie like Transformers. Not, I mean, you see one, you see them all, but you can't even watch it because it's too much in your face. It's too fast.
They don't understand, Greg. They had to use CGI to put Paul Walker's face on another person's body.
Did they do that?
That's the only way to honor him.
Did they do that at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Well, he couldn't use his real body.
They might have used his real body.
Well, the people at Weekend at Bernie's got a problem with that.
Can Ghost Ride Productions put some animatronics in a dead body for me?
Well, no, you would no, you would make another body. But yeah, if you've got money, we'll certainly try.
I've got the money.
With all that time you're saving, not being on Twitter.
I want to take one of your Ghost Ride burned up victims and drive in the carpool lane in California.
That's my plan. There's some weird shots where apparently Paul Walker, this is a Fast and Furious episode, guys, sorry. Paul Walker has two brothers who they used as like stand-ins to complete the movie because he died in the middle of filming.
Yeah.
But there are definitely
he died
some,
before
like,
they
really...
completed the actual filming of the picture, right?
Yeah.
So whether it's in the middle or near the end, there's going to be some need for like pickup shots and stuff like that, even after production. So they were going to need something.
There are some super weird scenes though, where you're just like, how much? Because it's convincing that he is there the whole time, even though there are some scenes where they're like talking about Paul Walker, like he's back in the house, he can't come out right now. But there's some really weird, I don't know, it's just now that you know he's dead, it is some weird things where like people are like, don't say goodbye like that, like you're gonna die.
So they pandered to the whole, this is gonna be his last one, but Vin signed on for 3 more.
Oh yeah.
Vin Diesel in the foreground going, what, you mean me and my buddy way over there 1.5 miles away? This little speck on the screen.
Yep, there's Paul Walker over there. Look at him smiling.
He'll be here in a while. While he's walking this way slowly, you tell me what the plan is.
Let's blow up some buses while we're waiting.
I'm assuming there's a plan.
Yeah, but you know, it made like over $200 million in one weekend. So you know, they're gonna keep going without Paul Walker.
Yeah.
Somehow.
We feel it would only be right, and he would want it this way.
He would want it this way. He would want all of us to make fistfuls of money off of his death.
Well, couldn't they keep going with someone who's like wearing a green spandex suit and just, you know, with the little ping pong balls on it? And
they're trying to do that with Bruce Lee right now. They're trying to put Bruce Lee in a movie, and his family is suing.
Why could they sue?
For using his likeness.
We don't necessarily know. They all look alike.
Exactly.
Close. Wait a minute. Why aren't they embracing the idea of having him come back to life on the silver screen?
I think what they should do is do a green suit, just like you said, but have it like make a CGI Mickey Rooney playing Bruce Lee. That's cool, right?
4'8". Oh. He tops out at about 4'8", 4'8.5", 300 pounds.
I think it's just, I mean, the whole thing where they're going to be able to like recreate you and make I think it's going to be, they're going to make celebrities. They're never going to have to make another movie. They're just going to digitize you and go, all right, we'll just send you a check. Don't put on any weight. Well,
it's same with concerts, because now you can go see a hologram Tupac.
And Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson. And like, you're telling me they're not going to do like hologram Beatles soon? Come on.
How great is that, though? If you're the manager, somebody killed, take it, the Buddy Holly's manager. He's sitting around, phone rings, he dusts it off. He's like, hello? It's like, I got a great deal for you. 3 concerts, Buddy Holly live.
Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and, just to get some newer crowd, we're going to put Stevie Ray Vaughan out front. I'm liking this.
I'd go to that show.
I'd go to that one.
Know,
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm telling you. If you could just relive. I'd go see Elvis again. Fuck yeah, I'd see Elvis.
But it begs the question, like, why are they fighting putting Bruce Lee back in movie pictures? I mean, that's what he was doing when he died.
They probably just want more money.
Yeah, but if they do a good movie, or even if they do an okay movie, there's money to be made in that.
If they do anything, if they do a cartoon of Bruce Lee, you should be happy.
Yeah, the fact that anyone wants to do that, your phone is ringing like Buddy Holly's manager. You know, there's 2 inches of dust on it, but when that phone rings, you don't go, I don't know. I don't get a good feeling about this. I'll wait.
At this point, that family should be happy they even knew him. I mean, that guy, there's no way. I mean, I don't think he had a bad temper or anything. He was kind of, passive. But the point is if they want to put Bruce Lee on a penis pump, they should go, sure, do it.
Yeah. I mean, negotiate something. Don't shut down the project. But see, now they'll just figure out a way to get around it. I mean,
well,
if they want to make the movie.
There's apparently, I just sent you the link to this article, and there's one of his sons is like giving them permission to do it, and the rest of the family is saying no.
Ooh, that's all they need. That's a pardon the expression, chink in the armor.
Well, I guess according to this article, an organization called Bruce Lee Enterprises claims to have undisputed ownership of all intellectual property rights related to Bruce Lee, and I guess there's some family business getting in the way.
It always the case.
Marvin Gaye's family?
Yeah. I mean, they
suing over blurred lines.
Oh, they won.
But
yeah, they won. That's what's causing all this. That's why you'll never get another dead celebrity ever go away.
I don't know how you would have approached that differently, because Pharrell and Thicke, they maintain that they didn't take anything, and then that's why I went to trial. But I know that you can approach people to use things at times, and I think why would Marvin Gaye's estate say no to that? That doesn't make sense. Sorry.
Because they probably get a lot more money by suing after the song is successful.
I think that's it. Like just let everyone do whatever they want, and then pick and choose where you're going to sue. And against all odds, just to write a hit to begin with, it's astronomical, and then all of a sudden one makes it, and then that's the one you sue.
Yeah, because Marvin Gaye's family could have got $100,000 or whatever to use that song, and then never got another cent. But this way, they get millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Well, how about the fact that yesterday the Dr. Frederick Brandt, the pioneer of Botox, died? He committed suicide.
No. Oh, no.
One of the reasons they said he did it was the Martin Short impersonation of him as Kimmy Schmidt, whatever, the plastic surgeon.
Oh.
They said he was very upset by that.
Oh, please.
They don't think that was a complete cause, but the thing is he hung himself in Miami in his house. But the thing is at that funeral, there's going to be no emotion at all. All of his best clients are going, and no one's going to shed a tear.
They'll have wet cheeks, but it won't look like they're crying.
Yeah.
Well, here's another. I had a suicide story I wanted to bring up.
Oh,
another
good.
guy who was justified. So a guy in Las Vegas lost his privileges of free buffet for life, and he killed himself.
Yeah.
Did you read that?
Yeah, and the thing was, it was all he could eat, and apparently he got banned because he was harassing the waitresses, which I assume he wanted to eat them too.
So this guy won some kind of a fucking radio call-in contest or something to where he got a free buffet for the rest of his life.
He had those M Life rewards.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't. That would be that's one room in the area called hell. That to be banned to eat at a buffet for the rest of your life.
That you could eat at the rest of your life had you just behaved.
Yeah.
He killed himself at the buffet too on Easter.
At the buffet?
At the buffet.
Yeah, and it freaked everybody out. Some of them only went back one time.
He didn't get any blood on the prime rib. It's still okay.
So he killed himself at the buffet.
Yeah, at the M Resort.
What's the M Resort? Is that off the strip? Is that in the shit area where we go, Becker?
It's in Henderson.
Oh, in Henderson. Well, yeah, everyone kills themselves at the buffet slowly in Henderson. I've sworn off buffets. There's no point to it.
I can't get my money's worth, I feel like.
Well, you go in and you've got high hopes that this one's going to be different. This one's going to be different.
There's too much pre-planning involved. You have to eat a small breakfast, but just a little bit to expand your stomach. It's just too much. I don't want to have to plan my whole day around going to a buffet.
There's no spontaneous visits to the buffet with you. You have to figure it out in advance.
No,
yeah.
And the other thing is you wear bulky, you go into the bathroom, you tip the attendant $20, and then you take all the napkins and all the toilet paper you can get, you stuff it in your arms, in your pants, everywhere. So you go in puffy. You then bring in plastic baggies and just start filling them. I mean, you fill these things because you can't eat it all in one sitting. They know that. That's their scam.
Yeah.
But you fill it up, you stick them inside your tracksuit, and then you wander out the same weight you came in.
Waddling.
Yes. And just be careful because gravy, you got to make sure that bag's sealed. And go back up to your room, throw it on your pre-iced sink, and then next thing you know, you're eating for 3-4 days.
Had you known this, John,
I know.
You and your girlfriend would have.
Yeah, if you're just going in, if you're only eating one time there, It's almost impossible. What I do is specialize. I've done this before. You go in and like for the breakfast one, just take all the bacon, just bacon.
Give me all of your bacon.
You can beat them. You can beat the house if you just focus. If you're eating muffins, you're losing.
Stick with the meat. Don't take the cheap stuff like rice and pasta.
Becker has done that. He has sat down at a buffet and taken every single fucking thing of bacon at the serving at the buffet line.
I actually
sat
took
down.
The opening tray thing with the bacon. I piled them all into one, took it to our table, sat down and ate it. And I was with Tracy, and she goes, "You're not really going to eat it all." I believe I could have had a heart attack at the middle point. I'm sipping iced tea and eating the bacon because it's only funny if you eat all of it. And the guy came over and goes, "Do you guys need any? What is that?" I go, "That's my bacon." And he goes, "Did you want me to take that?" I go, "No." And I ate the entire thing of bacon. And everyone's going up going, "Is there no more bacon?" The guy's like, "I swear I brought out 3 things of it."
You bring up a good point. It's only funny if you finish the bacon.
You
Remember
had to
that.
finish
Commit.
it. And I looked at Tracy going, "I might die here, but I have to finish
The
it."
disregard for your own well-being is worth the joke.
Oh, I had those white crusties from dehydration on both sides of my mouth by the last piece. I'm eating it like Cool Hand Luke eating eggs at the end. I'm physically moving my cheeks to chew.
Anyone listen to Soccer Marmalade?
I haven't. I forgot to. I subscribed to it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't see it until 7? The link doesn't come up till 7? I don't understand.
I don't know. I didn't.
You got all this free time now.
I didn't really look, to be honest. To be perfectly honest.
If you have any interest in soccer, then then it's worth it. I don't know, John. I don't think you have any interest at all. So it'd be interesting to see if what you get out of it.
I mean, I like to get excited around World Cup time, but that's pretty short-lived.
Yeah, they talk about people like you.
Yeah.
On the soccer
that's
Marmalade.
my thing. Is I'm thinking about just like downloading them all and then listening to them right before the World Cup.
That'd be good. That would actually be good.
It's definitely one of those podcasts that I would listen. I'd put it on 10 times speed.
Oh yeah. Like
I'd speed it up.
Rush through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like everyone's doing listening to this one.
It would mostly just be a supportive download.
I did watch The Last Man on Earth.
Oh yeah, what'd
John.
you think?
Well, I saw the 3rd episode because I don't have Hulu.
Uh-huh.
And I can't remember what the reason was, but I do have Chromecast, so I was able to throw that up on the screen, and it was the one with the gal, the voiceover gal who does Louise on Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember her name.
Kristen Schaal.
Kristen Schaal, yeah. It was where she showed up. So I didn't get any of the backstory. There were 2 episodes before that, the pilot and then the 2nd episode. But I mean, I get it. He's by himself. But unfortunately, the one I watched he wasn't by himself. So
yeah, it starts really strong. The pilot and the 2nd episode are both a really good look at what we would all do if we were the last people on Earth.
All right.
If you were alone.
So I did give it a shot.
Okay, I appreciate that.
And I watched it at regular speed.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm
saving it for when I'm home alone.
Perfect.
It'd be weird if there are more people watching a guy by himself than just me.
Fill up a kiddie pool with tequila and margarita mix and have a seat and have a good time.
Oh, and the guy who wrote it, he did Bill Burr's podcast.
Yeah, Will Forte.
I haven't listened to that yet either.
Will Forte.
Is it Forte or Fort? Because it's actually the proper pronunciation of Forte is Fort.
I think it's Forte.
Well, it's now pronounced Forte, but originally it was Fort. So how is he introduced?
On Saturday Night Live, it was Will Forte.
Yeah. So maybe he's the reason that everyone's come up with their own designer pronunciation.
He's probably the most famous of the Fort clan. So he could just he changed it. He said, "I'm Forte. I'm gonna Hollywood this name up."
It was for Google.
No accent though.
Yeah. So I don't know where you get the A on that.
You know what?
And there's a big news this week with the first time since Abraham Lincoln was a young man. Something happened.
Is this a contest? Are we supposed to guess?
And it was, yeah. What do you think it is?
Justin Bieber wasn't in the news?
No.
A
wild bison was born in Illinois.
Oh.
They now have infested us with bison all across the United States.
Bison are making a comeback.
Hmm?
Well, yeah, out there at the Wildlife Center, Becker, you're gonna get.
Yeah, that's exactly.
They just released a bunch of bison out into the wild here in Alaska.
What's the purpose of that?
I don't really know, just to see if they could.
I mean, is it on like private land, or they just?
I think it's state land.
The last recorded killing of a wild buffalo east of the Mississippi River was 1830 in Indiana.
Oh, was that part of the Religious Freedom Act?
That's exactly why they did it.
That's how we're gonna end on a
I know.
buffalo story.
How's my Abe Lincoln death mask sex doll coming?
Oh, we don't start any project unless we get 50% down.
Did you not get that? I thought I PayPal'd it to you. Check
It was
again.
half
I think
Bitcoin,
check.
half PayPal.
Check. I'd sent some Doge coins. They're like Bitcoins, but the value's a little higher right now.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about the death mask, the Abe Lincoln, which we talked about in the last episode, because they actually took 2 likenesses of him before he died. So it wasn't a true death mask, but it was right before. The second one was right before he died.
What? He wasn't dead?
No.
Cancel my order.
So they did this while he was like laying there recovering from a bullet wound?
No, they did it before the a couple weeks before the actual his death. And I think they did it because they took they did a plaster mold of his face before he became president. And they took another one later that was before he died.
The hell's the name of the place? Nostradamus Plaster Mask Shop?
Yeah, it was interesting because you could see the difference in just what the time being president had actually done to him physically, and he was suffering from some kind of disease too that they've theorized.
Oh, unpopularity.
Probably wouldn't have lived much longer than when he died anyway.
So we got lucky.
Yeah, long drawn out bout with I don't know. He had something.
Irish blood vomits.
Ugh. Next week, I'm popping the first beer.
Oh wow!
Ours is still on order.
Yeah, we're in a holding pattern.
I just tracked our package today, and Becker's Summer Wheat should be here Thursday.
All right, so
Before summer.
see, next Wednesday,
Barely.
the beer is actually done fermenting, like carbonizing or whatever. I don't know. I should really read that pamphlet.
What you should do, Greg, is overnight us a beer,
Oh, I could probably do that.
and we could all drink it together.
You know
It's
what?
not a bad idea.
Yeah, I gotta look and see how you do that because shipping liquids is there's certain things attached to it. Not like
I think when you ship beer, you just have to kind of take the risk that it might break because you can't tell them that you're sending alcohol.
yeah, you can
Bubble
send
wrap.
alcohol. You can
Bubble
send
wrap.
alcohol.
Can you?
there's a way to send it because you can send things like that, perishable
But
things and liquids. But if it's flammable, that's when you run into problems. Or if it's like a petroleum.
Is your beer
product or something.
flammable?
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just beer. It's not flammable. It's not like I'm sending.
It doesn't even have a label on it.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't this exactly what Smokey and the Bandit was about? Getting beer across state lines?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, they were trying to get Coors
To Texas.
east of the Rockies or something.
I don't remember where they were going.
remake. I'll wait for the remake.
Yeah.
Paul Walker's in it.
his CGI dead body is.
So I'll look into it and see if there's a way to do it. Otherwise, you guys might just be enjoying your own beer. But next week, a week from today, I transfer the next load of beer into bottles as well. Maybe I gotta run a test, but the bottled beer that I have will be ready next week.
Okay. And we'll be doing a podcast with Matt Kirshen at some point.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And I have reindeer meat and moose and
awesome.
halibut.
Oh, shit.
So we will have a full gamut.
Should I do
Well,
it?
thank you for listening to another episode of Near the Wild. I'm Matt Becker in a bus in Anchorage, Alaska.
I'm John Norris, ruining our outro.
And I'm Greg Chaille in Bisbee, Arizona.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo.
You've been listening to the Near the Wild podcast with Matt Becker and John Norris, recorded in Anchorage, Alaska on Matt Becker's backyard bus. Engineered by me, Greg Chaille.